Have you ever felt like that? We all do. Sometimes we wonder why we ever picked up the dang thing in the first place. But that's the question. Why did you pick up the guitar when you first started? And why does that matter so much to know that answer? Well, we're going to address that question right now and talk about how you can really limit frustration while learning guitar. And welcome to Music with Marky. When you first picked up a guitar, did you just want to learn a bunch of songs that you love and do the guitar equivalent of singing along while driving to your favorite songs? Maybe you had designs on writing songs and joining a band and playing along to scads of screaming fans. Or maybe you just wanted to strum a few chords and entertain your friends at parties.
Oh, look, it's that douche with the acoustic again.
Yeah, who invited him?
And if you're like a lot of players, maybe a few months or a year or so in, you forgot why you even picked it up in the first place, and you're getting frustrated trying to learn new stuff, and you're not even sure what to do with the stuff that you already do know. Well, I have some solutions for you, and it really depends on where you want to go with the instrument. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is take a step back for a moment and ask yourself, now that you've been playing for a bit, what is it that you want to do? Why do you want to play guitar? What is it that your goals are? What do you want to be playing a year from now? Once you know that, one or more of my answers here is going to apply to you. Let's take a look at situation 1 out of 3. 1, I want to learn some cover songs, but I'm really struggling to get them down, or I just learn little parts of them and never finish the whole thing. So if you're struggling with the whole songs or parts of the whole songs, it might be because you're picking out songs that are just too difficult for where you're at technically right now, and you're doing the equivalent of trying to run like an Olympic sprinter when you're still learning how to walk. What you need to do is make a list of songs, 5 or 6, 8 or 10, whatever it is, that you want to learn, and put them in order from easiest to hardest. And if you're having trouble figuring out what that is, you can always let me know in the comments here, and I'll help you out, or maybe one of my other viewers will, and put it into a list for you so you can do them in the right order for your learning level. If, on the other hand, you find yourself just learning the interesting riff from the song and then just kind of losing interest and never learning the whole song, don't beat yourself up over that. I did a lot of that. Heck, make a notebook of all the best riffs you have. Make the biggest notebook in the world of cool riffs from songs. I've got one here. I've been building this over years of just learning riffs from songs, and sometimes you go back and find you're interested in learning the rest of the song, or you're playing it with other people, so you do, but there's nothing wrong with just putting together a library of cool riffs. And when it comes to learning those really difficult songs where your fingers aren't cooperating and you're just having trouble learning those shreddy, difficult parts, that's all about how you practice, how you go about learning those parts. And I have a whole lesson on that here. I'll link it up here. That lesson, it's specific to speed, but I talk about practice techniques in there and the difference between a sprint and a marathon when you're playing. And you'll learn how to integrate information or get muscle memory working much more quickly. So I suggest you check that out. Okay, so let's say your dreams are to be in a band and be writing music and recording. Are you recording yet? Have you done anything to put songs down that you can listen back to? Because this is the number one thing that I see with my students, that they get to a point where they know enough stuff to make songs, but they don't think they're good enough yet, and they don't want to record stuff, and they hold themselves back because they have some kind of bar they've set in their mind about where they need to be before they can record a song. Can you play a few chords yet? Then you can record a song. Seriously, some, if not most, of the best songs ever written were done with just a few chords. Yeah, maybe you want to write songs with crazy prog parts and all these changes on it, but do you think that your favorite bands and favorite players doing that kind of music started that way? Of course not. Start making songs out of the stuff that you know. Start with simple songs and just learn the process of recording and learn the process of how songs are arranged. Listen to your favorite songs, the more simple ones, not the crazy prog ones, and learn how the parts are put together, verses and choruses, and what chord progressions are used to make songs that emotionally connect with you. I have a whole video where I took AC/DC's Back in Black and even used it as like a song template to create another song out of, and I'll link that up here. You can use that technique too, it works really well. And don't even worry about sharing those songs with anybody else. At first, you're just writing them to listen to for yourself. You put them into an MP3 when you're done. You put them on in the car or put them on your phone, however it is that you're listening to music. They're just for your own consumption so that you can grow and write better and better songs until you are ready to share them. And even if not, who cares? I've written over 200 songs and less than 50 of them are on my Spotify channel. I just do music a lot of times for my own edification. It's how I process life. And finally, number 3, you just want to learn some chords and play at parties and entertain your friends. This is a lot like situation number 1, where you just need to put songs in some kind of order so you can learn them. But there's something else I want to say differently here. If you're struggling to even find the motivation to learn a complete, simple kind of acoustic 3 or 4 chord strumming thing, you need to sit down and have a heart-to-heart with yourself. Dude, are you really sure you want to play guitar? Or do you just think you look really cool with one strapped on? It's perfectly okay if you picked up the guitar and then just kind of discovered that it's not for you, or maybe it's just not for you right now. There was a 12-year gap between when I first picked up a guitar and then later I picked it up again and actually started learning to play and had real inspiration about it. Just be honest with yourself about whether you want to play or you're just in love with the idea of playing. And if you really do want to play, start taking it step by step as we've talked about already. This channel is full of videos to address specific problems and hurdles that you might encounter. Writing more melodically, songwriting tips, music theory and scales, learning from famous players without copying them. Check out my playlists and find out if there's a video that answers any of your needs. And if you have any questions that aren't answered there, please leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to get back to everybody as soon as I can. And until next time, guys, keep making great music. Hey friends, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. It makes the whole world better.